Episode 190, Nano Banana and Google's Prompt Guide.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI 6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
Today I want to talk about Google's latest model, amusingly named Nano Banana. Honestly, it sounds like my granddaughter Maisie's nickname for me, because she calls me Nan. Well, anyway, despite the playful title, this is one serious piece of technology. It's Google's most advanced AI for image editing and generation, built straight into the Gemini app and Google AI Studio. I love demonstrating this tool in my classroom. Hello and welcome back to AI 6, the podcast that is on a mission to upskill 500,000 people on AI. I'm your host, Joanne Sweeney. Adding to Nano Banana from Google, Google also released an official prompt guide to help people actually use it well. I've read through it and I've tested some of the examples, so let me share with you what I found. So first of all, what does Nano Banana actually do? And can you take it seriously with a fun name like that? Well, I would argue yes. So it supports both text to image and image to image workflows. So that means you can either describe something completely new in words, or you can take an existing photo and transform it with detailed natural language instructions. So what sets it apart from other Gen AI tools is its deep context awareness. So it's not just dropping objects into a scene, it understands lighting, relationships, and physical logic. For example, if you ask it to add a coffee cup to a desk, the shadow will fall in the right direction. That's deep context awareness. There's also surgical precision. You can remove or replace objects without the messy edges that older models often left behind. It has a 3D sense, which means it can infer depth and perspective from flat 2D photos, which makes edits look far more believable. Of course, if we're using it and the edits are believable, we still need to label that we used AI. And then there's style consistency. So if you edit multiple times, the image doesn't collapse into a visual jumble. It keeps it unified. And Google frames it as a collective creation. So what can you do with it in practice as a marketing or comms professional? Well, you could turn a sketch into a fully coloured rendered piece of art. Imagine you had a children's art competition. You could create 3D figurine style art from ordinary photos. Have fun with your photo shoots. You can retouch or restore an image, fixing lighting, resolution, even damage. So maybe go into your archives and dig out those old photographs. You can replace a background, rearrange objects, or build a whole story sequence. And for teachers like me and communications professionals like me, we can generate diagrams and illustrations and infographics. So on paper, it might sound like Photoshop has met Pixar, but without the years of training. It really is a mind-blowing tool. So the technology is powerful, but it lives or dies by the prompt. And I think Google recognized that. And that's why they've published an official Nano Banana prompt guide. So the key message, the advice from Google is write in full sentences. Don't just type sunset beach realistic. Instead, describe what you want. A photorealistic image of a beach at sunset with soft orange light reflecting on the water, no people in the frame. They also recommend uploading a base photo when possible because context helps the model ground itself. Also, be explicit about style, mood, and realism. Use labels like Ghibli style or 3D plush or no text on the image, and also give it step-by-step instructions. One of Google's showcase prompts describes a commercial figurine in painstaking detail, scale, base design, packaging artwork, and even what's on the computer screen beside it. It's a reminder that the more context you supply, the better the output. They've also grouped prompt categories, so time-based changes like showing the same room at sunset and again 10 minutes later. Object extraction and isolation, which is handy for e-commerce. Enhancement prompts like sharpen, increase resolution, preserve style. Educational diagrams with labels. And even comic strips, multi-panel wordless storytelling with clear narrative progression. So Google sums it up with 3 best practices. Always include scene, context, style, and output format. It prefers descriptive sentences over keyword lists. Be iterative. Change one variable at a time, test and refine. So great advice from Google, brilliant tool now onto the market, and let's try them. Have fun with it. All of these systems, when they're new to the market, still require experimentation. You won't always get the perfect result on the first try, even with Google's prompt templates. But try Nano Banana and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this episode of AI6, please share it with a pro that you know. And if you haven't got a copy of my new book, AI Playbook, you can go ahead and find it at aimarketingplaybook.ie, or if you're an international listener, you can find it on Amazon. That's it for today. More AI6 tomorrow.